with these tones, what else is there that's involved with the pronunciation after?
After the tones, it's just, I think, being confident. That's the thing.
Mm.
And like you said, it's so important that people understand it's okay to make mistakes. Like,
Mm-hmm.
people are so afraid to like pronounce something because they, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, listen, I
Do
don't
it. Yeah.
pronounce it wrong. To me, that it's better that you say it wrong a million times with me, and then we can work on it. So I
Yeah.
think what's important is being confident about it, because when you hear something, your mind will try and mimic it anyway. But
Yeah.
if you're a bit nervous about it, that's when you're specifically trying to pronounce it a certain way, you can end up pronouncing it wrong. But if you're just like, okay, I heard it, I'm going to try and recreate it, most often you'll get it right.
And
So
I
it's
think,
just,
yeah. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
no, sorry, you go,
Uh,
you go.
oh, I was
I was
going to say, I think that once also you have like comparisons, like the vowels. Uh, is there a difference in the way that vowels are used in Yoruba? Like, for example,
yeah.
A in English, A-E-I-O-U. How would that be in Yoruba?
Yeah, so it's actually a good point. The alphabet, knowing the alphabet makes pronunciation a lot easier for you. So if you're familiar with the alphabet, the vowels, most of them, so E, O, and E, O, and S, sorry. So E and O, they have two of them. So
Okay.
there's two different ways that we pronounce like certain words. Like E, you might have an A and an E. So if
Okay.
you know the alphabet, then you'll know, okay, like certain words I pronounce a certain way. Like R-H-A is A in Yoruba, as opposed to A. So when you're saying A-J-A, you're saying Aja and not A-J, A-J, for example.
Oh, okay. Very, very interesting. So then, aside from that, what recommendations do you have for the way that you practice a pronunciation? Do you have something special in your lessons plans when people go to your website and sign up for lessons with you, that you do that? Like, how do you give people a little bit of an idea what to expect when they do your lessons with pronunciation?
So with pronunciation, it'd be, the courses are mostly a video of video
Oh,
form.
okay,
So
great.
I
Yeah.
always encourage you to kind of listen to the video and then practice. So in between, I'll be like, now I want to hear you say it. And even though I can't actually hear you, then it forces you to practice out loud. I don't just want you to watch and hear, but not practice it yourself. But I'll always explain the difference in tone. I'll always compare it to something else. Like, so this is
Oh, okay.
oko and not oko. Or
Good,
this is,
good.
so I always highlight if there's going to be another word that looks like it, and then I'll repeat the difference so you hear it often.
Yeah,
That's
I
all.
really think for someone that's learning, once they have that and they're able to compare, we have words that sound the same in English and we know, but we're just accustomed to it. So they
Mm-hmm.
just, get accustomed to seeing these different words, which brings me to my next question, which is about vocabulary. So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, I learned a lot about the brain and how vocabulary works to pick visual things, to either use a visual dictionary or use things in your house. How do you recommend people just become like a magnet for vocabulary words and just get all these Yoruba words inside to speak?
No,
What's the,
that makes sense.
yeah.
I'd probably say if you, let's say you're learning Yoruba, but when you're not learning, let's say someone asks you to pass them a book. In your mind, just say, okay, I'm passing you the iwe. So each time
Okay.
that you do something, like, I'm going to bed now, mon lo si ibusun, like, or like,
Mm.
I'm looking at the door, mon wo ilekun. So always, when you're saying stuff in English, just translate it in Yoruba, just so you're kind of, or if you want to say, I'm going outside, I'm going to quickly check what outside is. And then now you know in your mind what outside is. Or I want to sit on the chair, I'm sitting on the aga. So even when you're speaking
Mm.
English, just try and like pick out little words and translate them so you know what the things around your house is or the things outside are.
Wow, that just brought me to almost like a spiritual, philosophical thing, because I started thinking like, wow, why don't we do that more? And I'm thinking like, wow, imagine if I was to start doing that, and I think doing that would be, it's like almost like you're inhabiting the Yoruba spirit in your body, in your life, And this is what I think is so important about what you're doing, is because, you know, with a language like Yoruba, it could be lost if we don't do it, if we don't share it and think about it and practice it and use it. So what you're saying is basically, if you want to learn it, just bring it back into your life a little bit, you know?